acceptable conditions in an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. Object, matrimony. Unfortunately, I won't be able to deliver my usual lightning services today as I have a previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of Mr. Horace Van Gelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband, Ethel Levi, always said, that means he's got at least 60,000 cash. But I'll do my best to see that you're carried across somebody's threshold by the time the week is out. Might I also mention, I'm available for financial consultation, instruction in guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, and varicose veins reduced.
Come on, Dolly. She's the one the spinsters recommend. Just name that kind of man your sister. Once and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your bayonets and she'll bash him up. Come on, Dolly.
Mrs. Levi. Mr. Kemp from the artist. You know, I'm something of an artist myself. I do those silhouettes with scissors and black paper. Here's one of a gray hair looking the other way. I have to do them like that because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get there on time.
But we will, Mr. Kemper. And not only will Horace Van Gelder give you his permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, but he will dance at her wedding. And not alone either, because I happen to be engaged to buy him a suit for his second wife himself. What he really wants is someone steady to clean the house. As my late husband, Ethel Levi, always said, marriage is a bride to make a housekeeper. Think, she's a householder.
Oh, I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half New York says he's going to propose to Mrs. Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is exactly why I'm on my way down this morning and can take on your case. And knock out 4 lovebirds with 1 stone or whatever offer. I don't know. We'll see. Well. What do you know? I have nothing to pay my train fare with. Just large bills. 5s and 7s.
Somewhere. Mrs. Levi, I just hope this isn't a wild goose chase.
And speaking of poultry, I'm also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, and pierced ears replugged.
Mrs. Levi!
Than your sister. Once and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your bayonets and she'll mash him up. Come on, Dolly.
So, what's all of this for you, Mrs. Levi?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, I know, Mr. Amber. The youngest train is ready to leave. You go buy us our tickets, get us a window seat, order lunch, and I'll meet you on board. Ephraim Levi, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to marry Horace Vandergelder for his money. Listen, it's circulating among the people like rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign for you sometime today that you approve. Oh, it won't be a marriage in the sense that we had one, but I shall certainly make him happy. I'm tired, Ephraim. Tired of living hand to mouth. So I want that sign.
Mrs. Levi.
Sometime today. Don't you worry, Amber. We'll make that train. We'll get to Yonkers. You'll marry Ermengarde. Just leave everything to me. For when my little pinky wiggles, some young maiden gets the giggles. When I make my muscles act and why he says she's so attractive. When I use my index digit and they both begin to fidget. When I clench my palm, the preacher reads a psalm. And I hold my hand in
How can I be expected to play Yonkers, with all of that bellowing in my ears?
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say you're too young to be in love with anyone. There, take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17. And in another year, I'll be an old maid.
Well, I forbid it. Dare to become an old maid, Ermengarde, and I'll cut you off without a cent. And stop crying in front of the store.
I can't help it. I'm unhappy.
By thunder, you can go and weep a while in New York where no one will notice. Go upstairs and start packing. And don't get tears in the lot. It was just oil. Cornelius, where?
You stand, Mr. Vandergelder?
Dick, I've got news for you both. I'm going to New York this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Association parade. When I come back, you're going to have a mistress.
I'm too young, Mr. Vandergelder.
Not yours, not my reputation, mine. I mean, I've decided to get married. And in honor of the occasion, I'm promoting you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
What am I now, Mr. Vandergelder?
You're an impertinent fool. That's what you are now, and I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any other questions?
Yeah. Does the chief clerk get 1 free night off a week?
No, sir. This is how you thank me for your promotion. Sir, you will attend the store, as always. Now, get back to work, and don't forget to put the lids on the sheet tin. Evenings off, marrying artists. Foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools. The rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Even I, young once, was foolish. Got married, was foolish. And was poor, was probably more foolish than everything else. And then my wife died. Foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me, and became rich, friendless, and mean. Which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Now I know what you're wondering. Why a man of such good sense is planning anything, so frustrated with getting married. Here's why. This house, without a woman, is an Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
A young maid who's constantly there for washing and moving and showing them there. And it takes a female for setting the table and cleaning the curtains and cleaning the stable.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for femininity. Rah, 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 F-E-M-I-T-Y.
Get out of here! And in the fall winter, she'll shut the ice and lovingly set out the traps on the mice. She's a joy and treasure for practically speed. To whom can you turn when love for money is leaking?
To that dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a ski woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
All of you, out of here, out of here.
Congratulations, congratulations, 1,000 congratulations.
What?
Congratulations, Mr. Van de Gelder. All of New York is buzzing with the news that you practically proposed to Irene Malloy. The streets are lined with eligible young ladies prostrate with grief. My congratulations and sympathies. Oh, did I say that? Slip of the tongue, that's all. No, I'm delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload. By that I mean, well, you know what they said, but I for one never believe the rumors. No, I do.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Van de Gelder. By all known facts, her first husband passed on quite naturally. It's just that it was so sudden. Just a few spoonfuls of chowder she made special for him, and but it could happen to anybody, though there's no truth in it. Just one word of advice. Eat out.
Now look here, Mrs. Levi. Do you mean to say that?
I mean to say nothing, Mr. Van de Gelder, just friendly advice. Stay away from the chowder. By the way, she's ordered her wedding gown. Beautiful, you should see it. Black. But as I was saying, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials, and may you rest in, may guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Now, see here, Mrs. Levi. You introduced me to Mrs. Malloy, and rumors or not, I intend calling on her this afternoon, as planned.
Very well, then there's nothing left for me to do but to go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name.
Her name, Money. Ernestina Money.
What a lovely name.
Picture, if you will, hair as shiny as moon-minted dye, eyes as big and round as silver dollars, skin as soft and mossy as an old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Age 19, weight 102, waist 47. That's with the money belt. Now, I would arrange for you to meet this Ernestine this very afternoon.
I ain't got time. Besides, I've got to take my niece Ermengarde to New York this afternoon until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
Well, I can do that for you. I know just how to handle such things.
Then I'm marching in the 14th Street Parade.
What an amazing coincidence. Guess who was asked to ride on the main float, the spirit of 14th Street? Miss Money. Her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, Mrs. Levi. I'll meet Miss Money at the parade. I still intend to hang in a fault to Mrs. Malloy first.
Oh dear, the races you make me run. Very well, I'll meet you on the venture from Miss Malloy's hat shop at 2:30 as usual.
One other thing, Mrs. Levi. Suppose I decide against Mrs. Malloy and don't like this Miss Money neither.
Well, it just so happens I have one more name on my list. A name I know as well as my own. But let's not get into that now. It'll come up all by itself, all in good time, don't you worry. But wait till you see this Ernestina horse. A vision, a dream.
It's all while Conrad came joyously fleeing out to the train of the station, and it came a sad angel with wonderful flashes and soft breasted rain for pumping the ashes.
Oh, yes, it takes a woman. You know, Amber, I think I'm going to have that room done over in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Ambrose, oh my God, we've got plans to make.
Chief clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good in 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. I'm 33 years old and still don't get anything free. What am I going to be able to live?
You can live on holidays, Cornelius.
You remember what we did last Christmas? All those cans of tomatoes went bad and exploded. And you and I were cleaning up all afternoon. You call that living?
No.
Barnaby, you've got... Barnaby, we're going to New York.
You mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't.
We're going to have to. Some more cans of tomatoes are going to go bad and explode.
Holy cabooses, how do you know?
If I'm going to light a candle or anything, that's how I
Holy
know.
cabooses.
But it's going to stop the smell so bad that customers won't be able to come in for 24 hours. That'll get us our evening free. Come on, Barnaby, we're going to live. We're going to go to New York. We're going to have a nice dinner. We're going to get in danger. We'll spend our money, and hey, we might even get arrested.
Holy cabooses.
Barney, one more thing. We are not coming back to Yonkers until we've kissed a girl.
Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33 years old. I got to start sometime.
I'm only 17, Cornelius. It isn't so urgent for me.
Come on, Barnaby. The lights of Broadway. The elevated trains. The stuffed whale at Barnes Museum.
A stuffed whale.
A stuffed whale, Barnaby. What do you say?
Oh, yes, Cornelius!
Now, first, we need to make sure you're financially independent. I know. We'll get you a job. Can you dance?
Mrs. Levi, I'm an artist. I paint.
Very well. My card.
Mrs. Dolly Levi. Painters taught how to dance.
Now, there's a man named Rudolph Reisenweber at Harmonium Gardens Cafe on 14th Street. I'll send you a note for him and see if we can't have you both entered in the poker contest tonight. The prize is a week's engagement and solid gold cup. Oh, the cups we won, Ephraim and me.
no fiance of mine is going to set foot in a cafe. And I don't mind saying, I'm surprised you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Not acquaintances, Mr. Kemper. Friends. Dear friends from days gone by. When my late husband, Mr. Levi, believed in life in any place you could find it. Cafes, ballrooms, yes, even theaters. Why, every Saturday night like clockwork, down the stairs to Harmonia Gardens we came, Ephraim and me.
I'm sure it'll all come down like clockwork, Mrs. Levi. But you're asking Ermengarde to work there.
That's the only way to show horse banding together. We mean business. Now you two go to the Harmonia Gardens Cafe this afternoon and tell them Mrs. Levi sent you. Incidentally, tell Rudolph Dolly's coming back. And I'll need a table for two and a chicken for 8 o'clock tonight.
The bottom row looks already purchased. Now hold the candles under the ones up top. Not too close. They're starting to swell like they're about to burst. Oh! Holy cabooses, Cornelius! I can smell it up here.
Let's get changed, Barnaby. We're going to New York. Out there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see and listen, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes. There's lots of a world out there. Get up a brilliant tea and dive cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night, where the lights are bright as the sky. Put your Sunday clothes. We're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's. We'll close the town in a whirl, and we won't come home until we kiss our girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Sure got to pretend have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirit seems to turn around. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you fall.
Beneath your hair and soul, the world is all a smile.
It makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your leathers, your hats and leathers, your beads and buckles and balls. For there's no blue Monday or Sunday clothes.
Come on, Barnaby. The lights of Broadway, the LA train.
Holy cabooses!
Stop where?
pending marriage, I tell you. What marriage? Oh, I thought you knew. Why, the marriage of Mrs. Levi, Mr. Horace Vanderbilt, oh, the well-known Yonkers happy millionaire, and my employer and friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although, if you ask me, he'll never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace wherever he is, I'm not sure. Oh, he was a caution, you know. Oh, it's all too much. What with late husbands and new marriages, and on top of everything else, Miss Mortimer returning this patch for the third time. Same old story. She wants more cherries and feathers, to catch a bow, I suppose. Although, if you ask me, she'd be better off with a nice heavy veil. I told her ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye. But she'd have none of it. More cherries and feathers, she wants. Oh, on today of all days, when that poor, dear, sweet Mrs. Malloy has enough on her mind. You know what, with what, Minnie? With the door! It's stuck. It's stuck. It can't push. And as I was saying, Mrs. Malloy, I could find out my tongue for the things I've said and the things I'm going to say. But as long as I've gone this far, I might as well go all the way. Mrs. Malloy, why? Why?
Just say it, Minnie. Why have I decided to marry Horace Vanderbilt?
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I'd rather die upon the rack than ask you such a personal question. But as long as you did bring it up.
I have decided to marry Horace Vanderbilt for one reason and one reason alone. To get away from the millinery business. I hate cats.
Mrs. Malloy?
And I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it.
Mrs. Malloy,
Don't protest me. All millineresses are suspected of being wicked women. That's why I can't go into balls or restaurants or theaters. That's all the proof they need. But take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vanderbilt or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Oh, no. Not Miss Mortimer again.
Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it.
Leave it be, Minnie. You can make another hat for Miss Mortimer if you like. I am wearing this one myself.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, you can't. You're a widow, and that hat, well, it's provocative, that's what.
Is it, Minnie? Well, who knows who may walk into this shop today, and provocative may be just what I want to be.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy!
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer, and green and streaming in the yellow sky.
no short change. Once is enough for a woman as long as it's true love, and it was that. But maybe there's two men staring at the shop.
Men?
Yes, why, I do think that they need to come in here.
Men! In the shop! Oh, Mrs. Malloy, what shall we do?
Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one.
Mrs. Malloy, and you with all that talk about love.
Love and not I've had any. It's a bit of adventure I can do with now. Let's see. We'll get them all heated up, and then we'll drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Hey, you go back to the wood. I know a few ways that we can perk up our appearances. And besides, a bit of a wait will only make them more nervous and easier to...
If you say vampire, I'll scream.
Vampire. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch a gentleman's eye. Oh, we'll get an adventure out of this yet, Minnie.
We'll get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long we walk around New York and nothing. And then we come to the quietest street in the city and all of a sudden we...
Vandergelder.
Where?
He's sitting right on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
Don't worry, Barnaby. When you're on one, you'll know it all right. How much money we got left?
How much, Cornelius? 40 cents for the train right back, 30 cents for dinner, and then 20 cents to see the whale. 90 cents. Why?
When those ladies come back, they'll make them think that we're customers. That's it, customers, right. Maybe we should make them think we're rich. You know, that way we wouldn't buy anything. You know, we're two men about town looking for hats for ladies. Yes, that's it, that's it. Well, good afternoon, Mrs.
Malloy.
Oh, Lord Ethel here.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
Oh,
Well,
we're
we're
happy to
ladies
see
about
you.
town.
We were looking to buy a lady or two on the way.
Hats. Oh, we're looking for hats for ladies. And we were told to come to Mrs. Malloy because she's so pretty. I mean, because your hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable too, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1 would still leave us enough to see the whale.
Not mind him, ma'am. He's all the way from Yonkers and he's just excited to see the whale, of course. Keep an eye out on the street, Barnaby, and you just might see it pass by.
Big and black with mean little red eyes.
Yes!
Sitting right on that bench.
Excuse me, but did you say Yonkers, Mr. Hackle?
Oh, of course. And beg my pardon, but you should see Yonkers. Or I should say Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
Oh, you hear that, Barnaby? She's a widow. That's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed seeing Yonkers too, especially in that hat. I mean, you in that hat. Not Mr. Malloy, of course, but may you rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, don't worry, I'd be willing to change. I mean, one second. Mrs. Malloy, should you happen to find Sunday free in the near future, well, I would be very much pleased to show you around Yonkers and Rock Bottom.
Well, you see, I might be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Oh, you do?
Yes, perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
Although it's always foolish to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's a Mr. Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Vandergelder Banfield?
Do you know him?
No.
Well, Mr. Vandergelder is a substantial man and very well liked, they tell me.
Lovely, just lovely. Only one fault I can think of, hard as nails.
Cornelius, I think...
Perhaps your friend might like this one.
Look out!
I'm sorry, Miss Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing? Come out of there this instant.
We'll explain later.
We're as innocent as can be.
Really, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, come right out of there this instant.
Oh boy. I don't suppose Mrs. Levi is in here, is she? I was supposed to meet her on that bench 10 minutes ago. Well, she can just go looking for me if she comes now. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Here's a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled. That's the expensive. Did I just see you talking with a few men?
Men? Men, Mr. Vandegelter. What would men be doing in a ladies' hat shop? Now, come back to my workroom. I am so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
So you did. Well, how is everything in the hay and wheat, Mr. Vandegelter? I hear you have 3 friends, all hard as nails.
What are you talking about?
Yonkers, Mr. Vandegelter. I hear it's a beautiful city.
And who, may I ask, has been telling you about Yonkers?
Nobody. A friend.
What friend?
Oh, you see,
Me?
a customer, Mr. Vandegelter. Someone very well to do, as a matter of fact. He was in here buying hats for ladies. Perhaps you know him, although it's always silly to ask in cases like this. It's a Mr. Cornelius Hackle?
You say happen.
Why, yes.
He just happens to be my chief clerk. Mrs. Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everyone in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. Why, he's at the opera and all the fashionable homes, like he's even at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible. He's only got $146.35, and I keep that in my own safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandegelter, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The hero.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses from Jacqueline's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle, who dressed as a waiter at the Fifth Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Miss Astor's. Ooh. I can't say it, but it was Cornelius. He's the playboy of New York. Now, I really don't deny it. I know you were as taken with him as everybody else.
Dolly, I just met him just today. What are you saying? Really, Dolly?
Excuse me.
Of course.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Hold your tongue!
Now look here. If there's a man in that cabinet,
No man, indeed. It's very dangerous. You can't.
no man that would hide in a lady's cabinet can frighten me, Mrs. Levi. Stand aside.
I'm sure you'd make short work of any man. Those muscles, I can see them rippling back and forth when you ripple, back and forth, ripple.
Mrs. Levi, for the last time, stand aside.
Stand aside indeed! That's exactly what the courts will want to know when you're accused of entering this carriage without a search warrant. I mean, if you don't stand for the laws of this great land, what do you stand for? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hats, sir, Betsy Ross's flag is passing. You see him on the hill and get you through. He's that great triumphal one. If you see him as he's traveling through the graves of wrath, stand and march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, great sir? I came here as an immigrant girl, and just 10 years of age, from
God bless you.
Mrs. Malloy.
All right, Mr. Vandegelder, there is a man in that closet. And another one under that table. There also happens to be a perfectly good explanation for this, but for the time being, good afternoon.
Good Lord! The whole room's crawling with men. I'll never get over it. If I take it over you later this afternoon, Mr. Vandegelder?
You certainly will, Mrs. Levi. With a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy.
Mr. Malloy, I can explain everything.
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop at once, or I will send for Officer Goverty.
If you ask me, Irene, calling an officers let them off too easy. The law courts, that's where they belong. I've been adding up the offenses these two have committed, and believe me, you've got grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compass mentis, and a garnishee. The main thing is you show you're trying to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dolly, is that really necessary?
It's the way of the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnishee afterward.
Very well. It must be. Mr. Tucker, Mr. Hackle, you may take Miss Bay and myself to dinner tonight.
Oh, I'm delighted. Oh, and I speak for Barnaby as well. Now, I know a nice little restaurant